It's another Monday with you here with Teacher Jenny, and join me in for another recording on inverse function using inverse operation. So let's start with this example. Now notice on my previous example or video, I have there so finding the inverse of a function using inverse of operation, but that was with the basic operations. So for today, we are going to do a combination of two or more operations on the given function. So how are we going to apply inverse of operation in finding the inverse of a function here? So let's have f of x equal to 2x plus 3. How are we going to get the inverse of the function here? We simply are to write the notation f to the negative 1 of x. That will be equal to x. We'll start always with an x. And then we do first PEMDAS, but in the reverse mode, meaning to say we'll start off with addition or subtraction, then we're moving up to multiplication, division, and then we go for exponent and then the grouping. So here we have plus 3. So inverse of that is minus 3. So we have x minus 3. And then we're done with this. Next is we have another operation which is multiplication. So we are multiplying by 2. Inverse of that is dividing by 2. So what are we going to divide? We are going to divide the entire thing that was written already on your inverse of the function. Divide that entirely with the 2. So there you go with your inverse of function. Next we go for that one. So if you want to try it, pause the video and then come back to the video once you have the answer to check it whether you are correct or not. Now, let's have f of x equal to 3x minus 9, and we do our inverse of operations. We'll start off with writing the notation f to the negative 1 of x. That will be equal to, we'll start with an x, and then we do PEMDAS reverse mode. That will be minus 9. Inverse of that is plus 9. And then we're done with this. We go for multiplication. We are multiplying by 3. Doing the inverse of that is simply dividing the entire thing by 3. So there you go with the inverse of your function. Next we go for that one. This is now f of x equal to x plus 2 over 3. So here, it's going to be tricky in here because we have addition, but at the same time we have division. I've mentioned we are to follow the PEMDAS, therefore we are going to do the addition, but since x plus 2 over 3 is taken as one term, so that means they are in one group. So if that is for grouping, we are going to destroy the grouping in there, or we are going to simply break up the grouping, in which we start with dividing, because here we have x plus 2 over 3 that is similar to x plus 2 divided by 3. So the entire x plus 2 is being divided by 3. So more likely we'll start off with division before going to the grouping. So here we have our inverse of your function f to the negative 1 of x, which is equal to, start off with x. So we have divided by 3. Inverse of that is multiplied by 3. So this is now 3x. And then we're done with this part here. So we are now moving up. We have x plus 2. Plus 2, that would mean we are to subtract it by 2. And there you go with the inverse of your function. Next, we go for the next example. We have f of x equal to x minus 1 over 5. So again, you start with f to the negative 1 of x. That will be equal to, we start with an x, and then we have divided by 5. We do 5 or multiply it by 5. And then we go up here on the numerator. We have minus 1. That means we're adding 1. So there you go with the inverse of your function. Next, we have this example f of x equal to 2x minus 1 over 3. Notice we've got more than two operations involved. So again, we are going to start off with division first before we go to the group on the top. So we have f to the negative 1 of x that will be equal to x, and then we divide by 3. Inverse of that is multiplied by 3. So we multiply 3 on your x, and then we have there a minus 1. So we do plus 1. And then we have multiplied by 2. So we are to do the inverse of that. That will be divided by 2. What will be divided by 2? It's the entire thing therein. So there you go. Next, we go for that example. We have f of x equal to 3x plus 7 over 2. Again, we start off with your notation. And then we have x. And then we divide by 2. Inverse of that is times 2. And then we go for plus 7. That's minus 7. And then we go for multiplied by 3. That's divided by 3. So there you go.